Alright, boys and girls, today's lesson is lesson 7-2, fractions of sets. Today, at the end of the lesson, you should be able to say, I can solve problems involving fractional parts of collections. I can identify the whole or the one when given the fraction of. I can identify equivalent fractions, and I can use equal sharing division strategy. Alright, so today's lesson, what we're going to do is, in the past I've talked about the whole being if I say there are 3/4 of a candy bar. That tells you that the whole, the candy bar, is separated into 4 pieces. Okay? But when we're doing it of sets, it's telling you that the group is broken into 4 sets, 4 equal sets. Like if you had 20 kids in the class, okay? And I said the class is broke, I said 1/5 of the class. You would take the 20 kids and break them into 5 equal groups. Then one of those groups would equal the amount of 1/5. So for example, if you broke 20 kids into 5 equal groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm going to break the 20 kids in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so 1/5, one of the 5 groups, has how many in it? Hopefully you know it's 4. So 1/5 would equal 4. If I had 2/5 of 20, it would equal 8 because there's 4 in each of the fifths. Hopefully that's not too confusing for you. But let me clear off the board here. I'll start that over for you. Let's just say there's 25 kids in the class. Okay? I'm not going to draw stick figures of 25 kids, but you get the understanding there's 25 kids in the class. If I said 2/5 of the kids were absent, in the past I've taught you that the number 5 is telling you how many times or how many the whole is broken into. Okay, in this case the whole isn't broken into 5. The whole is broken into 5 equal groups. Okay, because we're talking about sets here. So 2/5 would equal, well, first we would need to find 5 equal groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I would just separate the 25 kids into 5. Or if you know division, you know what 25 divided by 5 is. But let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Notice I'm done. I got to 25, and each group has the same amount. This is where it falls into equal, like we've talked about in class. Equal groups. They all have to have the same amount in it. In this case, they all have 5 in it. So this group would be 1/5. This group would be 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and 5/5, 5/5. So all those would be the whole of 25 kids. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So if I said 1/5 is how many kids, you should also look at this one bubble, because I want to know what 1/5 is, and say there's 5 kids. My original question was 2/5. You take 1/5, add it to another 1/5, because you got 1/5 and 2/5, which equals 10 students. Because each of these sets you put together has 5 kids in it. This is asked for 2 of the sets. So you add those 2 sets together to give you 10. Alright, let me erase that here. Okay, so I want you to think about pennies. Okay, you have 24 pennies. I'm going to just draw them up here quickly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. So you have 24 pennies on a desk, and you count out 2/3. Okay, you want to count out 2/3. So you want to count out 2 groups or 2 sets of the 3 sets that you're going to break the 24 coins into. So the first thing you need to do is you need to put the coins into 3 equal groups. So you can just do 3 big groups, or you can tell yourself, it's basically saying 24 divided by 3. Some of you should know that, but if you don't, you can always just separate them into 3 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, we're at 24. They're all gone. They filled it into all these sets equally. And if you look, each set has 8 in it. So 1/3 would be 8. 2/3 would equal 16. And 3/3, which is the whole, would equal 24. Okay, do we understand that? Each of these thirds have 8 in it. So if I say, hey, what's 3/3 of the group? Well, it's all of them. It's all 24. 2/3, you'd add these 2 together. 3/3, you'd add all 3 together. Okay, so we just worked that out so where 2/3 would equal 16. So what is the whole? So what would the whole be in this situation? Okay, the whole would be 24 pennies. Okay, I know in the past we've said the whole, if there's a 3 in the denominator, it's telling you how many pieces the whole is broken into. Well, sure, 24 pennies because it's a group. Because it's a group, you're going to break into 3 sets, 3 smaller groups. Okay, so the pennies in each group represent what fraction of all the pennies. Each one of these represent what fraction of all the pennies. Now it's kind of a mess now, but they each equal 1/3. Okay, this is 1/3 of the group, this is 1/3 of the group, and this is 1/3 of the group. Because all these combined would be the whole. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So how many pennies are in each group? Each group has 8 pennies in each group. 8 pennies in each group. Notice, if you add them up, 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 24. Or you take 8 times 3, that equals 24. So, one way to find out 2/3 of 24 is to first find 1/3 of 24, which we did that at the beginning. We said, okay, 1/3 is 8, and another 1/3 would be another 8, so you add the 2 together to get you 16. So 3/3, we're not going to go to 3/3 because that's everything. 3 over 3 is a 1, so that's telling you the whole. If I said how many pennies is 3/3 of 24, well, you'd say it's all of them. So let's turn to your math journal. I want you to go to page 189. Okay, and the first thing tells you the whole. It says you want you to circle 3/4 of the nickels. It says 16 nickels. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 nickels. It says circle 3/4 of the nickels. So what you have to do is you have to break all these nickels into 4 equal groups. So you can either look at it or you can count them off, however you want to do it, but the way I have it lined up, it's kind of easy. But you need to find 4 equal groups. So let's do, these are all, there's 4 groups, they all have 4 in it. So these are all 4 equal groups. So they want you to circle 3/4 of the nickels. Here's my 4 equal groups. So but I only need to circle 3/4 of them. So I'm going to switch to red. And I'm just going to circle 1, 2, 3/4 of them. Okay? Notice I have 1/4 off to the side, not counting. Okay? So it says how much money is that? These are all nickels. Okay, so how much is 1 nickel? Hopefully you know it's 5 cents. So each of these, rather than count 5, 10, 15, 20, I think you all know this, that 4 nickels would be 20 cents. And you have another 20 cents for 4 nickels, and another 20 cents for 4 nickels. So actually your answer would be 60 cents. Okay, the next one, I'm going to have you do a little bit of this on your own. It says, fill in the whole box, because we're going to figure out the whole. It says, circle 5/6 of the dimes. Okay, how much money is that? So, by finding this out, you have to pick what the whole is. Okay, make sure it's something you can works well with 6. So let's do 12 dimes. I'm just going to write that in there. Then I want you to pause and I want you to circle 5 6 of the 12. Or 5 6 of the dimes and tell me how much money that is. Try that on your own. Okay, so 12 dimes. I want you to break them into 6 equal groups. Okay, 12 dimes, 6 equal groups. It's pretty easy because you know 12 divided by 6 would equal 2. So you need 6 groups of 2. Okay, these are all supposed to be coins. Not the greatest. Okay, so here's my 6 groups of 2. Okay, these are all sets of 2. Okay, because if you add them all together, you get all 12 dimes here. But it says circle 5 6 of the dimes. So here's 1 6, 2 6, 3 6, 4 6, 5 of the 6 groups. Then it wants to know how much money's in that. Well, there's all dimes. Each of these groups is 20 cents because they're all dimes. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dimes. If you know the answer to 10 dimes, you'll know it is $1. Okay, so we're going to work on this more in small group, but I want you to try number 3 on your own, and then we'll work on this together. But if you have to, if you get a chance to work on this on your own, work on your own too. But we're going to talk about this more in small group.